open the portal, we fell into sea of meaning.
See of what?
Crossing of minds. We are now going around an island called the racetrack of life. I remember. The racetrack is a place in which the mind where thoughts go in circle.
Whose mind are we then? And who are they anyway? What?
Pirate and the dragon. Dragon is the one who must stop here. The pirate will also stop. So whose mind is here? I do not know. Rock! Coast is clear.
Can the pirate help us?
No, he's trying to get to an island or self island to get treasure. We want to get to that island too, but if he find us, he will probably kill us.
Good thing is, the dragon is after him. You said there's a treasure, right?
Yes, it's a special one.
We will probably die before we ever get there and become rich. What do we do?
Help! Help! SOS!
Should we be quieter in case the dragon or pirate hear us? My ears are ringing. I hear a phone sound.
Me too.
The Cosmic Love of Lady Spider. How may I help you?
Where's that voice coming from?
It's Lady Spider. Lady Spider, where are you?
How can we call and talk if we don't have a phone? Who's Lady Spider anyway?
I'll swing by in a sec. And so I'm here, answering an emergency call. Lady Spider, happy to be at your service.
Help us!
A 911 request? I'm afraid I have to put your plea on hold. Though I did hear everything spiders can pick up on all sorts of vibrations, you know. We're quite electric, as is your friend the worm, who brought you here. Worms and spiders pick up on the vibrations of all sorts of sounds.
Like the sound of our screaming, but you are not doing anything about it.
You kind of got that right. I just said your request is on hold, not denied. So let me explain something just so you have an idea. There's an electric grid at this crossing of the mind, which allows converted carrier waves, having gone through the brain, to come here to the sea of meaning. This sea is where every mind throughout history intersects, due to the salts in this sea carrying data from every brain.
Salt.
I'm also thinking there is blood in the water.
The electric field is what enables me to balloon in the air, and the electric grid is stitched up by the worm, who has an electric thread wrapped around it. It stitches up the circuitry, or connections between the minds, to have thoughts drain here. So that's where the blood comes from, your brain. Waves, like the carrier wave that brought you first, shoot into your brain, and then convert into a C wave as a result of actions performed through the worm's circuitry. There are also other connections the worm facilitates to have you slip in and out of each other's realities through stories on paths. But I'll save that for later. Clearly, I have another end of the thread which I pull from my spinnerets to weave my web. The cosmic web. The worm's threads get combined into my weaving. The cosmic web is also the entry gate to different realities, the interroots, and where everyone's stories get spun.
I'm so confused and just need help. I'm so dizzy. Who else mind are we in?
Kind of remember reading about this, but I'm confused too.
The worm, who has opened the portals for you, stitched all sorts of connections within the mind and between minds. That's how you're at a crossing between your own and somebody else's, as you were brought by the wave.
Whose mind?
That's what you have to figure out. By reflecting on your own identity on these waters around the racetrack, you can discover the self whose mind you're in, as well, and how your minds connect.
How do they connect?
The wave that brought you here came by help of the worm's efforts. As I mentioned before, the worm brought forth the wave by helping it convert into a sea wave, bringing it to this sea of meaning, which exists in everyone's mind. And to bring forth the waves here, the worm does clearings in a tunnel shaped like a DNA helix under Self Island, which again exists in everyone's mind. There is a vortex connecting Self Island to the racetrack, representing two zones in a self's mind, whether a carrier wave ends up at the racetrack or Self Island. depends on a few things which I won't mention now. The worm has a magical alchemical thread wrapped around it that acts as electric wiring. With that thread, the worm goes into the tunnel, clearing the grooves in the soil under the tunnel, clearing out blockages and memories, preventing you from remembering who you truly are, as well as how we are all connected within a system called the system of self. Not to mention the grooves in the DNA tunnel are in the shape of fingerprints. So as the worm clears the blockages, you slowly remember your truth, as well as seeing how your stories connect with that of others. Consider these connection threads as your lifeline out of here. But to help the worm clear, you have to try to remember stories in your life connected to your purpose.
Long intro and nice to meet you, but we are in a lot of trouble if you noticed. Can't you drag us to South Island with these threads?
Would love to give you a further hand, or leg up, to get out of the loop, which the racetrack is also referred to. But to help the worm dig and clear, you have to do the work on your own. You must find stories within yourself which remind you of your purpose. Only then can there be help in bringing forth supporting waves to help you out of the racetrack. So I can't help you until you discover clues regarding who you are as well as your purpose. By doing that, you can also find out whose mind you're in as well. Only then can the circuitry be powered on to bring you a wave to serve to Self Island, as your brain cells will be mapped to the twinkling stars above. This will prompt the worm to clear the grooves and cause a gravitational pull from the stars to bring more of the kinds of waves you took to carry you over to Self Island. This is called aligning your brain cells to the stars, since both the brain and the universe share a similar underlying structure. All instructions to do that are written on the cards, including how to remember, and it's only something you can do yourself.
Ring, ring. Did somebody dial the self-help line?
That's the skeleton over there on the racetrack. The skeleton represents the underlying structure of a self. The skeleton can go in and out between Self Island and the racetrack through the vortex connecting both spheres of mind and represents every self throughout history.
I'm the bone holding this entire system together, because I'm in everyone. As on my buddy, the one lady spider. I've got quite the backbone and shoulders to hold everything. Not to mention, I have the chest containing the treasure. Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Amar, what he's saying?
I'm sure about something, but if it's others, I'm a bit confused about it. I'm scared. I don't understand everything.
But Amar, remember, the instructions are all in the cards, and your attempts are all well worth it, as you have a treasure waiting for you, and access to the interroutes. Besides, your survival depends on it. You have everything you need to break free from the racetrack in the system of self. We're all connected, like the threads on my web, which are all connected by vertices or points. Your goal here is to leave the racetrack and have a wave bring you to my web on Self Island by remembering who you are. And the instructions are there in the cards. A clue for you is Star Charts!
Stars up? I learned about it when I did the brain chapter. Then went to catalog.
How can we get access to the manual if we are stuck here?
Get this. As we're all multidimensional, there's another dimension of you in another reality that is behind this computer screen reading the cards. Furthermore, Amar, as you have been going through the cards, in that other dimension, a trail of videos have been dropped behind you by Pro, your trusted companion, who is also a video editor. In other words, you kind of already know what to do. Those videos referred to it as breadcrumbs, or like trails, or circuits for other cosmic travelers to travel.
How do you know about our other dimension selves? I'm curious about that.
Through my web, I can tune into the frequencies of almost every reality.
Dude, we're best friends somewhere else as well.
We can escape each other, but I wish we could escape this loop. The spider is leaving us to die?
I needed to catch quick. Back to the brain chapter. I want to say about what? The good news is the cards keep talking about the tree of life and how to revive from death. Bro!
Oh, the dragon, Majoligo! represents the ego and is the cause of separation. Start mapping those stories, guys. I believe in you.